Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe, and I am back at it again. I'm back at it again, man. Listen, we have quite a bit to discuss, let me tell you. All right, we're going to be talking about Todd Downing now being the New York Jets play caller, okay? He's taken over play calling duties. That's what Albridge has done. We're going to discuss that. We're also going to discuss the New York Jets upcoming game against the Bills. We're also going to be discussing some things about Haason Reddick as well. There's been some some changes in his representation, and I want to know from y'all if that may have him show up and actually be in a Jets uniform this year, maybe playing on field for the Jets. We're going to be discussing that. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I am taking all callers. Let me go ahead and get into the show. Listen, I am the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook. Search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I truly do, and I appreciate y'all, okay? Your boy's also on iTunes as well. Going over to iTunes, okay, type in Long Beach Joe Show, The Long Beach Joe Show, okay? Follow, subscribe to the podcast, leave me a 5-star rating, and let me know what you folks feel. Give me some feedback, all right? Give me some feedback, okay? I want to show appreciation to everyone that does that, all right? All of my listeners from overseas, like I said, I'm always overwhelmed by how many people listen to me from overseas. I'm stunned. Germany, UK, Ireland, Australia. I got people listening to me all over the place. Canada, everywhere. I want to thank y'all for checking in with your boy. I appreciate y'all, okay? And, again, I appreciate all of my listeners. I want to be clear about that, okay? I appreciate every last one of you, but I do, especially appreciate people listening to me from so far away, okay? I'm always stunned by that, always stunned, all right? And also, you can get in touch with me on my social media, okay? Come on over to Twitter, okay? Again, I'm always going to call it Twitter. Some of y'all got to let this go. I'm never going to call it X or whatever it is, okay? I'm always going to call it Twitter. Y'all just got to let that rock. Some people be so mad. They're so mad about that. I'm just going to call it Twitter. Come on over to Twitter, okay? Type in @The Long Beach Joe, @The Long Beach Joe on Twitter. All right, follow me. I'll follow you right back. Let's go back and forth and have that discussion. I have a lot of spirited discussions on Twitter. I call them spirited discussions because I don't like to yell and argue and go crazy. I don't. But there's a lot of other people that do, and, hey, if you want to do that, that's fine. All right? You can do that, okay? So come on over to Twitter, @The Long Beach Joe. And as always, okay, for those of you that may not know, your boy does the show live, okay? We live stream the radio show. Also have content as well on YouTube. Come on over to YouTube, okay? Type in Long Beach Joe Jets, Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so when I post content, you'll be in the know. Also, give the stream and video a thumbs up as well, okay? And share it across your social media with your friends and your family, all right? I want to thank everybody that does that. There's a lot of ladies that hit me up. They say, Joe, you're attractive. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you, okay? They love the show. They love me. I think they're beautiful as well. And I want to thank y'all for checking out the show. So please continue to do so. But understand that when you come over here, look, you're going to have to deal with some people, okay? It's my chat, man, the audience, okay, the listeners. I call them the savages, okay? You want to know why I call my chat savages? Because they're savage. Man, listen. They do not care. If they don't like what you're saying, if you don't sound like you make sense, if they want to get after you, they're going to do it, okay? There's nothing that can be done here, all right? They're good people. They have good hearts, but they will attack if necessary, okay? And they do so. And nobody is safe, not even me, okay? Not even me. They don't like your take, they're going to let you know, okay? So salute to all the savages in the chat. JJ, I see you in the building. Breeze, salutes as well. Good to see you in here. Bree says, mad I missed the Tuesday show. Glad you're doing a Friday show. Salutes, Bree. I'm always here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Salutes Michael as well, okay? Salutes to everybody in the chat. Salutes to all the savages. Again, please continue to put your thoughts in the chat, and I will come to you. Again, the number to call in is 515-602-9639. We will get to every caller. 917, hold on a second. I see you. All right, we're coming to everybody, new callers as well. Hold on. Okay, we're getting to everybody again. 515-602-9639. Now, we're going to get to the talk of the talk. There's a lot of things moving and shaking has been going on. There was a report swirling about Robert Saleh and why he was fired, right? As we all know, Robert Saleh was fired on Tuesday. And, man, oh, man, it was a surprise. It was a shocker. Not only was it a shocker to Robert Saleh himself, it was definitely a shock to the fan base. We were all stunned, all right? Now, there was a report that came out written by Jonathan Jones. He's a CBS sports reporter, all right? He comes out and he said that Robert Saleh was fired right after a plan that he had to strip Nathaniel Hackett of his play calling was exposed, okay? Jonathan Jones came out and basically said that at first, Saleh was seriously contemplating firing Nathaniel Hackett. Like that was on the table, okay? But Connor Hughes and Mike Florio came out and refuted that report. He refuted that report. They said, hey, that was never on the table. Saleh was looking to strip him of his play calling duties before week 6. And if that would have happened, that Todd Downing, the passing coordinator, would have taken over the play calls. Now, we all know there was rumors, that this was going to happen in July, that Saleh was looking to strip Hackett of his play calling then. And as we know, some things have come out. And, Arthur Smith, former Falcons head coach, was contacted about that, a position similar to that. Not only was he contacted, but there were others that were contacted as well. He turned that down, and he is now currently the Steelers head coach. Now, that comes out until recently, right? Comes up now, and you have Jeff Albridge, who's now announced that Todd Downing will be the offensive play caller for the New York Jets going forward. And I want you folks to hear what he has to say.
The staff, after a lot of time to think about it, and did not make this decision easily by any means, I'm going to make Todd Downing the play caller for the New York Jets going forward. And this is more a byproduct of a different take on things. I'm not saying it's a better or worse take on things by any means, but just a different take on things, a fresh approach. So ultimately, Todd will have the full say on the game plan and ultimately the plays that are called within the game. Saying that as well, just another testament to the human being that Nathaniel Hackett is, the fact that he's going to give us everything in his body and heart and soul, and he's going to continue to be a big part of the success we're going to have going forward from an offensive perspective. And just I feel so fortunate that he's staying with us. Here's a guy that's been a head coach in this league and willing to draw cards, willing to do whatever it takes. So the true heart of the servant. Just I feel so fortunate that he's on our staff, that he's in our lives, and I can't speak enough good things about him.
Now, wow, right? They come out and they say, hey, Todd Downing is going to be the guy now. He's going to be the guy to call the offensive plays. This is one of the changes in the staff that has happened under Jeff Albridge. And I was a little shocked, right, myself, because generally when you see a change in staff like that, you'll see them move on from the coach, right? I was a little shocked that Nathaniel Hackett wasn't let go from the staff. We saw Robert Saleh let go. So now here we are. We're sitting back, right? And I'm thinking to myself, well, this is probably going to be a bit awkward, right? You got Nathaniel Hackett, who's still the offensive coordinator. He's still on the staff here. And now you got Todd Downing, who was the passing game coordinator, but now he's also added to be the guy who has play calling duties. How is this going to work with these two guys in the building together? Todd Downing came out, and when he was asked about this by the media, he had something to say on the topic, and I want you folks to hear it. Here you go.
With the guy who you replaced in the same room, is that awkward at all? Usually when a team makes a change, the guy who the other guy's out, but he's still here, and I'm just wondering how awkward that situation.
I think you're absolutely right that in a normal circumstance, with normal or everyday people, it would be. I can't express to you the respect, the just reverence I have for the way Nathaniel has gone about his business. From the moment the switch occurred, he walked into my office and told me that he wanted to support me and see me succeed in this role, and that the only thing that mattered to him was this offense putting together a good product, and that's winning football games. He put his ego aside. He is an absolute servant, and it really has been humbling to watch how he's handled this. So I think, most people out there, if they went through what he's going through, they'd make it awkward. He has not. He has stood up and answered the bell in ways that I couldn't even have imagined.
Now, that's wonderful to hear, right? That's wonderful to hear, because it's seeming that, again, Nathaniel Hackett, even though his play-calling duties have been removed from him, that he's continuing forward professionally, and that Todd Downing is now going to be a guy that's going to get his chance to really get some things going and shake the New York Jets offense up, okay? It's about that time, man. It's about that time, because there's been so many things going on and going wrong with this Jets offense. And with Todd Downing now in the driver's seat calling these plays, here's what I need to see, man. I need to see the New York Jets offense turn up. I need to see us start utilizing personnel effectively. That's the first thing. That's the first thing I need to see. I need to see play calls put in place where we get our stars, get our weapons, our playmakers the football. The Chiefs can do it, right, with their guy Travis Kelce. The Vikings can do it with Justin Jefferson. The list goes on and on of teams that have their guy, right, the guy that you know is the star attraction on offense. They have their guy. And then guess what? When the crunch time comes, when the lights are the brightest, when the heat's the hottest, when everything's on the line, they call those plays to get their guy the football. We need to do the exact same thing here. There is no reason why Garrett Wilson shouldn't have plays designed specifically to ensure we get him the football in his hands so he can get going and we can make some plays here, okay? I also need to see the confusion stop offensively. There needs to be a better connection. There needs to be a better connection offensively around here. That's got to get going, okay? There needs to be guys that understand where they're going, what they're doing, and how to get, okay, a better rhythm and tempo as well. Also, can we stop being so predictable? That's another thing I want to see Todd Downing clean up, okay? Stop being so predictable. Let's get some motion within the offense. Let's do something to change tempo as well. Let's put defenses on their heels and make them have to think. That's some of the things I want to see, along with the fact that, hey, Todd, can we get some running game going, baby? Can we get some running game going? I mean, hey, we're the New York Jets. That's what we do. We are supposed to be able to run the football effectively. I remember coming out of training camp, and everybody and their mama was talking about how if we can't lean on anything else offensively, we're going to be able to lean on our running game, baby. That's what we said. And our running game has been in the dumps for quite a while, and that needs to be switched up, all right? There's so many good run call offensive guys in this league, okay? Look at Mike Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan out there with the Niners. That guy's running game coordination is insane. He draws it up crazy. Why can't we do that here? Why can't we not do that here? Let's get it together. Let's get our stars going. And I'm hoping this picks it up. Get the play calls in faster, too, so we're not blowing through timeouts and getting delay of game penalties, okay? So we're going to be talking about that as well. Todd Downing, again, the Jets' new, play caller. Again, he's not the offensive coordinator. He's just taking over the play calling duties. We're also going to be talking about this Jets game versus the Bills. This could be, if the Jets beat the Bills, they could be in first place here of the AFC East, which is, as the way we played in some of these games, that's shocking to hear as well. But here we are, okay? Boom, we here, baby, okay? Now, this is going to be a big test. Again, you look at the Bills. Josh Allen, it's always a tough go going against him, man. This is a big quarterback. Not only is he big, but he can move, all right? This guy's got an arm that is crazy. Okay, so we got to get after him, and I think that's going to be the big thing for the New York Jets is finding a way to get pressure on Josh Allen. Will McDonald, I don't know what's going to happen with him going forward. Again, he's a guy that's pushing. He's taking his next step, but again, I don't know if he's enough, man. I don't know if he's enough. We're going to have to blitz this guy early and often. We're going to have to get after him. And not only get after him, but once we get after him, we have to get him down. We know, right, as Jets fans, you hit Josh Allen, it's like hitting an oak tree, man. Man, he don't go down easy, all right, especially if you're going high. He'll shrug you right off. I've seen him run over linebackers, corners, safeties. It don't matter. He'll run right through you because he's such a big guy. You got to wrap and corral to the ball when he takes off. That's another thing you don't want to do is over-pursue because he'll take off and utilize his feet to get first down, so we got to worry about that. One of the things that I'm really worried about is the Bills' running game, okay? We know that the Jets at times have struggled to stop the run. You watch that Niners game. Early in that Titans game, we struggled. There were so many games we struggled to stop the run, and teams line up and get rolling against us and run that power stuff. And I think that the Bills are going to come out and try to do the exact same thing. So we got to be prepared for that as well. We've got to run up and stop the run, okay? Also, there's a player on there, Deion Dawkins. We know nobody that loves the New York Jets likes Deion Dawkins. He's a yapper. He likes to run his mouth. He said a lot of different things about the New York Jets as a franchise. He's also talked a lot about players on the New York Jets and really, gotten under a lot of people's skin. Michael Clemens being one of those guys. They've definitely had some back and forth. I want to see how he's dealt with as well because we all know he's going to try to bait our players into different things. Can we remain disciplined? That's going to be a big thing. Again, this is going to be the first game under interim head coach Jeff Ulbrich. I want to see him make sure that guys don't, get out of control here. I want to see him make sure that guys stay within their heads and stay disciplined. Penalty issues, listen, if guys are going to go out there and commit penalties, then guess what? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to hold guys accountable? That's going to be a big thing that I want to see from Ulbrich in this game. Are you going to hold guys accountable? Because that was one of the biggest issues with Sulla. I also want to see if the Jets come out fully prepared, ready to go, okay? This is when the lights are going to be the brightest, baby, all right? Point blank period. This is Monday night, okay, at the house. We have MetLife, baby, on Monday night. Everybody's going to be watching. Are we going to be prepared? Are the slow, sloppy starts going to stop under you, Ulbrich? That's going to be a big question. So there's questions all around, baby, questions all around. You look at the Jets' offense, and I'm wondering, all right, again, we got Downing calling plays. This Bills front is serious business, okay? It's serious business from Rousseau to Daquan Jones to, Ed Oliver. I know he's dealing with the injury right now. But they got some guys up front, and they bring the pressure. We know that. We play the Bills on a yearly basis. Not only that, we all know their head coach, Dermy, we know he's going to bring the pressure. He blitz all day, every day, okay? And we saw that the Jets struggled with the Vikings blitz. It's a copycat league. You're going to see the Bills come out and do a lot of the same things, disguising their coverages, switching things up, bringing heat, bringing a blitz. I want to see how our offense is going to deal with that. Our offensive line needs to get it together. Aaron Rodgers has been getting blasted these last couple games. We've seen it, all right, getting twisted around, getting his knee jacked up in the last game, right, taking shots, getting decleated. You continue to allow that to happen, he ain't going to last too many more games, dog. I'm keeping it real with you. He ain't going to last too many more games if you keep allowing him to take shots in that manner. So I want to see our offensive line step it up, okay? I also want to see our running game. Again, our running game's got to get it together, man. I want to see if we're able to run the football effectively against the Bills, all right? Hey, Breece Hall, where you at, player? Where you at, man? Like, I need you to step up as well, too, man. I need you to get back to being the Breece Hall that we know, okay, that we know and love. What's going on here? I need to see him fed. I need to see him get that fight back. And guess what? Again, if he comes out and he's not getting things together, will Todd Downing make the adjustment and say, hey, I'm going to get the ball to Braylon Allen in. I'm going to let the young guy go out there and do his thing. I'm going to let the young guy go out there and carry the load and run this ball and continue to put us in position to succeed. That's a big question, man. That's a big question. But against this defense, you better get it rolling. Because the penalties, especially, again, offensive penalties, you better stop. Because you get behind the sticks on the Bills, they're going to put you away. They're going to put you away. If you come out and you don't produce in early downs, and the next thing you know, you're taking a sack on second down, and now it's 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, they're going to close it out, baby. You might as well punt. This defense is still solid, man. They've got some guys. Now, there's some things we can take advantage of in their secondary. I think we can test their corners, and there's some things we can win there. Garrett Wilson, I think, can have a game for real, for real. I think this is another game where I feel like Garrett Wilson can have over 100 yards and really put some things together. I also think that Allen Lazard will have his opportunities. Now, will he catch those footballs? I don't know, man, because so far Allen's been dropping a lot, man. He's been stinking, man.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I mean, come on, Allen. He dropped like 4 footballs against the Vikings. 4. And a touchdown. Like, come on, man. Come on, Lazard. Get it together, man. Get it together. Mike Williams also should be fed in this football game. I feel like he'll have opportunities. I also want to see if Downing's going to utilize that double tight end set. All right? I need to see Ruckert and Conklin on the field here. All right? So there's some big questions going forward in this upcoming game. Final thoughts before I get to the callers again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I'm taking all callers. We'll get to the callers in just a second. Again, Savages in the chat, continue to put your thoughts in the chat, okay? CAA has parted ways with Haason Reddick. That's his representation, his agency. They've moved on. They've dropped Haason Reddick, okay? I'm going to say it again. CAA has parted ways. That means they dropped Haason Reddick, okay? So what that tells me is he's kind of out on his own in his holdout stance, okay? He also has lost nearly, I think, $4 million at this point in game checks. I think it's roughly about $5 million in fines that he's lost too. Like, I don't know. Maybe, and again, Woody Johnson, when he spoke to the media, told Haason, hey, come on in. Let's figure things out, right? Told him he'd give him a convoy and everything into the building. So maybe that means at some point we'll see Haason Reddick in a Jets jersey actually on the field playing for the Jets this season. I don't know. But I know CAA said, you know what, we're done with these shenanigans, and they moved on from him. Okay, so we're going to be discussing that as well. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I am taking all callers. Please give this a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so when I post content, you'll be in the know. Also, share the stream across your social media for your friends and family so, we can spread those wings and get more eyes on us. Also, if you want to give to the platform, Super Chat's there. Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. Anything you give to the platform is greatly appreciated. All right? So we get into these calls. Again, Savages in the chat, keep going. I will come to you in between calls, but we got to get to these lines, all right? Because the lines are hot. Let me tell you, baby. There's a lot of things going on with the Jets, man. A lot of things going on with the Jets, and we're going to be moving and shaking through these lines, okay? First caller we're going to JJ. JJ, I'm coming directly to you. I know he's got some takes for us. Listen, for those of you that do not know, this man, JJ, oh, boy, this man is a savage. JJ, salutes. Listen,
Yep.
New York Jets
Salute.
announced that Todd Downing is now the play caller. He's taking over play calling duties for the New York Jets. What are your thoughts about that, and what are your expectations for the New York Jets offense under him as a play caller?
Salute to you, brother. Listen, I mean, it can't be worse than Hackett, can it? So I think anything is an upgrade right now. I know his overall numbers from the past weren't great as an OC, but hey, we'll see. Maybe we'll get some sort of spark. Usually when you fire a head coach, you get that instant spark for a bit. So I'm hoping and just praying that happens with us here. Like you were saying, man, you put it perfectly. We have to get this run game going. But I'm saying it every week, but every week there's nothing there. Something's got to change. And the thing with this Bills matchup, the Bills are actually the worst team in run defense right now to start the season at this point. So if not now, then when? So I'm curious to see what gives. One of the worst run offenses versus the worst run defense. So let's get it going, man. Brees, like you said, Brees, please, man, we need you. We need, you know, you got to step up, man, or listen, or give Allen, you know, let Allen get that rock.
That's my question for you, and that's my question for you, because we're all talking about Brees, and we're hoping that he turns back into being the Brees Hall that we all know we're raving about all offseason. Yeah. But my question for you is that if he doesn't, right, if he comes out and things just aren't working like we've seen, he's not hitting the hole, it seems like he's indecisive, do you think Todd Downing will look over and go, you know what, that's it, I'm making the transition, I'm going to start giving the ball to Braylon Allen more than Brees right now? Do you think he'll make that adjustment? Because that's what we saw Hackett fail.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't know. All I can say is I sure hope so. I mean, if you want to win, give the ball to the better back. And so far, the better back is Allen. I mean, anybody can see it. Like you were saying, Brees I don't know what's up with him, man. It's pretty mind-boggling. And, you know, it's just, I mean, how do you look so much better with last year with a way worse O-line, a way worse quarterback? Like, it's kind of crazy when you think about it, right? Like, I mean, it's like you said, man, like your question. I mean, I think he will just give it to Allen. I mean, anybody could see it. If this continues, Allen needs to be the guy, point blank. Allen needs to be the guy, specifically in the red zone.
Yeah.
You know?
What are your thoughts about the Jets' offensive line? Because I know that we've all talked about it. We've seen Aaron Rodgers really get banged around. We know we know that the Bills are going to bring the heat. Right, they're going to blitz. It's a copycat league. They saw the Vikings have success with it. We know that McDermott wants to do that against us anyway. What are some of the things that you think the New York Jets offense can do to kind of keep the heat off of Aaron and beat that blitz?
Boy, first I would say do not use Bates as a blocker. I was watching some clips of Jesse Bates, and he was missing block after block after block, and on key moments of the game, like 3rd and 1s, you know, 4th and 1s. You know, I just think, listen, I was giving the O-line major props the first few weeks, but lately, the last 2 or 3, it's kind of almost looked like last year. Tyron Smith's been getting beat a bit. Fashawn has been not too good at right tackle. I get it. That's not his natural position, but he hasn't been too good. The interior, Simpson, has been a little shakier than he was earlier in the year. But I just feel like our runs are kind of predictable. Like on that huge 4th down play, I feel like the whole world knew that we were just going to run it right up the middle with Brees. Like, it was so, right? Wasn't it just so predictable?
So obvious.
Like, right? It was so obvious. Anybody knew, right? It was so obvious. It was just, give me a toss, give me a play act. Like, that was the most obvious thing I've ever seen coming. Like, you know. But, man, again. So go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Man.
Yeah, so now we're looking at the situation, right? I'm looking at the Jets defense, man. We're going up against this Bills football team, and my big concern is Josh Allen, right? We see him run around, move the chains with his feet. We see him get it done from the pocket. Do you think the New York Jets will be able to get pressure on him? And if so, how many sacks do you think the Jets will have in this game? That's my final question for you.
You know, that's the thing, like you just said. Like, it's not only his arm, it's his feet. He's strong as heck. He's tough to get down, even when you think you have him. He gets away or he falls forward to get that extra yard. He's a different kind of cat. But so it's a challenge. I think we'll be up for it. I feel like we definitely usually play well versus Buffalo at home. So like you were saying, all as negative as we all are right now about this team, like you said, we win Monday night, guess who's in first place? You know, so let's flip the script. Let's get this big W, and Let's get things on the right track, man. Oh, yeah, real quick, talking about the Buffalo running game, I saw James Cook looks very questionable. That would be a big game for the Jets, as well as one of their weapons, Shakir, who's a very solid receiver. Neither of them have practiced
Khalil
yet.
Shakir,
So, right. So if those two miss, hey, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, but they got other guys too. They got Ty Johnson. They got Ray Davis. They got some guys who can run the football. They don't always need like big names. You know, those guys move.
Right,
but like you said, Cook, I think he's dealing with like a foot injury, and I think Shakir is dealing with like an ankle injury or something like that.
Right. Yeah, right. Right. Mm-hmm.
So give me your final score prediction, man. Jets, Bills, Monday night. Life's going to be bright. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think it ends up?
All right. Jets will be in first place come Monday night. Jets 24, Bills 21. Let's do it, man.
Okay.
Let's
go. JJ, I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I'll
appreciate you, brother.
Right, yeah. JJ started it off. He says Jets going to be in first place. He's taking it. Salute to JJ as well in the chat. He says this is a huge game, must-win game versus Buffalo Bills. Yeah, big time. Salute to Michael as well. Savage in the chat. He says, I hope Ulbrich does good and becomes a head coach. Players love him. There's a lot of people that looked at him as a head coaching candidate. Okay, a lot of people talked about that. Remember, his name was hot in those circles in the offseason. All right? He has a tremendous opportunity because if he can put this together, if he can get things rolling, let me tell you something. Baby, oh, baby, the name's going to ring louder and things are going to move and shake. And he's a guy, again, that could be looking at having another offseason where people are screaming about him staying in. Okay? I'm telling you. Things are going to be moving and shaking around here. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Again, new callers, please keep in mind, I can see you. Okay, so when you call in, hold on, and I'll get right to you. 714, I see you in the building. Hold on. All right, we got callers on the line, and we will get to everybody. Next! We're going to Chris. Chris, I'm coming directly to you. Colin, I see you. We'll be coming to you. Sit tight, Colin. Max, I see you as well. Sit tight. We're getting to everybody, but we got to get to Chris. For those of you that do not know, this man, Chris, boy, oh boy, he's a savage. Chris, how's it going? Right? Remember the last discussion we had? I told you, hey, if you don't, make sure Sulla didn't make sure that the team wasn't heavily penalized and things like that, he can find himself out of a job. Well, he's fired now. And now Jeff Ulbrich is the New York Jets head coach. We also have Todd Downing taking over play calling duties. What are your thoughts on this, Chris?
I'm shocked that they did it so soon. I thought they would give him at least to the bye week. I thought this team needed to, I thought this team needed some time to actually come together because we had a lot of new players. This is really Aaron Rodgers.
I think we lost Chris. Chris, we can't hear you if you're talking. I think we lost you. We'll come back to you later on. I don't know what's going on with Chris, but we're going to keep it rolling. Again, 515-602-9639. Chris, fix your situation. We're going to Colin. Colin, give us some takes. We got to talk to you. For those of you that do not know Colin, he's a savage. Colin, salutes. We haven't talked to you in a minute, man. Listen, Sulla out the door.
And a hater, Joe.
Oh, you know what? Let me get this. Let me respect you. For those of you that do not know, Colin is also a hater, okay? He's a hater. Lets you know off the bat, okay? He going to hate on you, okay? Oh, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? He lets it be known. So, Colin, we've moved on from Robert Sulla, fired on a Tuesday, right? Jeff Ulbrich takes over as the New York Jets interim head coach. We also have, Todd Downing now stepping in and taking over play calling duties for the New York Jets. What are your thoughts on this shakeup?
So, Joe, I'll take a step back because I know I haven't spoken to you in a while, but I went to the Denver game Sunday and I sat in the rain. First of all, it wasn't a monsoon. It wasn't a monsoon like people were saying. It was nothing like that. It was just rain. So I sat there, I watched the game, stayed all the way to the end. And that last drive, when they had a minute and change, I'm telling the guy in front of me, I'm like, this is when you run the ball because you're going to eat up the clock. You'll force Denver to use up their last timeout. So if you do kick a field goal, they wouldn't have much clock left. And I watched them just pass the ball 3 times, and I was like, this is where being a head coach and knowing when, how to manage the game, that's where, for me, I saw Robert Saleh failed as a coach. Because you have to know, in crunch time like that, you got to be clever of how you manage the game. And he didn't manage that game because that game should have been won. So I have to hate on him for that. The Minnesota game, I have to hate on Aaron Rodgers for that because he has looked terrible. I don't know what other people are seeing, but he hasn't looked himself. And I understand he's probably a little scared because of, his injuries. He doesn't want to get hurt. But, I'm going to hate on him for losing that game. As far as Saleh being fired, it's funny because the New York media, everyone in the world, including their grandma, wanted this guy fired. And then when he got fired, everyone is like, oh, I don't think he should have been fired. Why they didn't wait. Well, if in New York, it's brutal. If the media is saying fire this guy, it's to the point where they're like, oh, shit, I have to fire this
Watch
guy.
your language. Family show.
Yep. Yeah. So, now people are like, oh, why they fired him, why they didn't wait until the Buffalo game, wait for the bye week. I mean, if they waited and they lost to the Bills, then people would have been like, why we didn't fire him after the Minnesota game, right?
Well,
why
here's the thing.
Here's
the thing.
So,
here's the thing, and I understand what you're saying, Colin. But I think what a lot of people, and this is why I was shocked, as up and down as the New York Jets were, right, and we were up and down, we're still, again, competing to be first place in the AFC East, okay, still, right? So when you look at the situation, there's been some up and down play, but it's still early in the season. Now, yes, people wanted him fired in the offseason. Absolutely. We did shows. Y'all heard the call-ins. Like, there were people screaming that he should be fired. There were people that wanted Harbaugh. All kinds of, coaching, candidates were out there. But once we go into the season with Robert Saleh in a must-win year, we're all in. Okay, this is must-win. We all know that. We're all in this year. We got Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to be here for the next 45 years, right? We all know that the implications of this season. So when you look at the situation where the New York Jets are and the fact that we have a team that on paper could compete for a Super Bowl, the last thing that you would think was that you would fire a coach as early as we did in the season with the type of talent that we have. Because generally when teams make this type of decision, that means the season's over, right? Generally when teams fire their head coach in season, that means it's over, that there's no coming back from that. But we're only 5 games into the season. We're only 2-3. We can definitely come back for this. So that's why I thought that it was so shocking, especially when we talk about, the names, the players that a lot of people scream and rave and want, right? Devontae Adams being one of them, right? Devontae Adams is in a situation right now where he was with a head coach. He came there for his quarterback. Quarterback got moved on from. The head coach got moved on from. That was there, too. Now he's with an interim head coach. Seems like there's some static there. He's ready to move on. The Jets were thrown all over in that situation. That's going to be his landing spot. And now look what we do. We fire our head coach, right? We're in a situation with an interim head coach who knows what the future is going to be because we still need to figure out if Aldridge can be the head coach going forward or if we need to find another guy to come in here. So that even puts that Devontae Adams situation, in question for those Jets fans that scream and rave about him coming here, because you got to ask yourself, why would Devontae come here when the Jets right now are, so on uneven footing? Because Joe Douglas could be fired after this season too. There's a lot of people starting to talk about that he could get out of here too this offseason, and there was a lot of discussion about that. So that's why I think a lot of people were kind of shocked or asking why do that now within the media. But go ahead. I'll give you the last word on that, Colin.
Well, I mean, listen, whether they did it now or they waited, right? And then they lose a couple more games, then at some point he would have been fired, right? If they continue to lose games, he would have been fired. And I'm telling you, Joe, this all just comes down to managing, just being a good manager. And in my opinion, you know, he's still learning to be a manager. And Albrecht is going to learn to be a manager as well. But, you know, the thing is with Robert Saleh, we all see him on the sidelines. It's like a Todd Bowles all over again. You know, there's no fire. There's only fire when they're doing well. Alan Lazar is dropping balls. No one's getting benched. There's no accountability, like they said. So, you know, those are the things why they decided, like, hey, you know what? He's got to go. So I'm not concerned with, like, Albrecht or even Todd Downing, because it's going to come down to how they manage the game. Because at the end of the day, the players got to go out there and execute. So it's going to come down to, is Albrecht going to hold these players to accountability, like everyone is saying, or is he just going to be a duplicate of Saleh? So we're not going to know until Monday night exactly who Albrecht is as a coach, right? So
and even we're going to see what's going forward with Todd Downing again as the play caller now, and that leads me to my question for you. We're talking about Monday night. We got this game coming against the Bills. We know what's on the line. If the Jets win, they could be in first place. This is a big deal here. Now I look at the Jets offense, right, and I'm wondering, man, will Todd Downing be able to reignite this Jets running game? What are your thoughts about that? Do you think the Jets running game step up against the Buffalo Bills?
Well, I think in general, the players, you know, realizing that they felt like they should have been held accountable for what happened to Saleh, I think they're going to come out. They're going to come out with the energy. Albrecht certainly has the energy, right? So I think they're going to come out with high energy. And if they come out that way, you know, they can easily win this game. So, you know, it's going to be all about how they come out. If they come out like Rodgers sitting on the bench because the Bills scored a touchdown and he's got a towel on his head, that is not motivation for the young players and the rest of the team. He's the leader. He's got to act like the leader. He's got to fire up, you know, the players as well. You know, you can't just go back to the bench and just sit there and be like, oh, the game is over already, you know. And that's how he was with the Minnesota game. So he's got to be the number one accountable person on offense, because we brought him in to win games and take us as far as the Super Bowl. So, you know, it's all going to come down to who has the energy, who's playing with the energy, who's playing like they want to win. We have the team to win.
Really we do. They've got to step up. The New York Jets, honestly, we should be 4-1. That's the truth. We should be 4-1. This team is good enough to be 4-1.
Now we're playing from behind. So but
I mean,
you know,
you only scored 9 points against the Broncos. That is insanity to me. My next question for you, going over to the defensive side of the ball, Colin. Listen, the Jets pass rush, man, do you think they'll be able to get after Josh Allen? That's a big question for me, because we've seen Josh Allen scorch us before. We've seen him utilize that arm, and I'm talking about just throw rockets everywhere. But we've also seen him utilize his feet and move the chains. My big thing is, if we get pressure on Josh Allen, we've seen in the past, it gets us turnovers, whether it be interceptions or fumbles, because he doesn't always secure the ball properly. What are your thoughts? Do you think we'll be able to get to Josh Allen? Do you think we should utilize blitzes, or do you think that Will McDonald will be enough?
Well, this is where Albrecht is going to be able to shine, right, and prove to this team that he could become the head coach for this team, right? Because this is his cup of tea. There's no excuse if that defense played poorly, right? This is his thing. So he has to come out there. You know, it's no longer Robert Saleh's team. He's not calling what plays, or he's not saying, well, we're not a blitzing team or anything. Todd Downing, Albrecht now is in control. and he has to shine. So if it requires blitzing, whatever it takes, he has to game plan properly for Josh Allen. So again, we can speculate right now, but until Monday night, we're going to really see who Todd Albrecht is, right?
Yeah.
So,
we're going to see who Todd Downing is too, as an offensive play caller. But you're right. Yeah,
because we can say, oh, why are they not blitzing? Why we don't blitz? Why is this team not blitzing? This team, that was the Robert Saleh's team, right? And who's the other guy? Hackett? I forgot his name. I forgot who that guy was. What was that guy's name again? I don't remember.
Give me your final score prediction, Colin. You're a hater. Give me your final score prediction. Jets, Bills, Monday night. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think it ends up?
I think the Jets going to come out on the top because they're going to come out with the energy. So, but I don't think it's going to be like all of a sudden like a high scoring game. So I would say we hold the Bills to 20 points, probably like a 21-20 Jets.
Okay. Thank you for calling in, Colin. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, man. We ain't heard from you in a minute.
All right, Joe. Take care, buddy.
All right. Listen, we're going to keep moving again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Salute to Captain K in the chat, Savage. He says, hopefully Downing calls some screens for Brees. Now you're using the old thinking cap, Captain K. I've been waiting for somebody to talk about that because that's the way you can beat a blitz. Perfectly timed screen can destroy a blitz in the right spot. And I'm wondering if Todd Downing is going to have that prepared because, as you pointed out, Captain K, utilizing Brees in the passing game also allows him to continue to be effective and rev that engine, right? We've seen him catch some footballs this season for a touchdown. He caught one against a backer a couple games ago where the backer, he matched up with him, got even, left him, and the backer had his ball had his back to the football, and Brees was able to catch the football, get down, touchdown. Easy peasy. Throw straight from Aaron Rodgers, excuse me. So, that's a good take right there. Really, really like that take. Salute to you, Captain K. Salute to all the savages in the chat going on. Jack Kenny, I see you in the building. Bree, I see you, okay? Everybody talking that talk, okay? Luna salutes. Luna says, family show or get up out of here faster than Woody firing Sulla. Oh! Whew. That was fast. Yeah, don't curse on my show. I'll get you out of here fast, okay? Faster than Todd Downing can take over play calls. Whoa! Woo! Faster than Nathaniel Hackett can take a back seat. Oh, that was fast. Woo! Faster than Jeff Albridge can take over. That was fast, baby. That was fast. Salute to all the savages in the chat. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next! We're going to 714. 714, we're coming to you. Max, we're coming to you after. 714, give me your name, where you're from, and give me your thoughts on Todd Downing taking over as the New York Jets offensive play caller.
Hey, my name is Jake. I'm from San Diego. I'm a longtime Packer fan, so I've been following Aaron Rodgers for a while. He's my favorite athlete across all sports. I know he's not what he used to be, but I never thought he was. That was part of the plan anyway. But I never thought. Yeah, I mean, he's well over his prime, but I didn't think he needed to be that to be, to get a championship for the Jets. Funny enough, I used to watch the Jets a while ago. Mark Sanchez is my cousin by marriage, so my aunt's husband's nephew. That's Mark Sanchez. So during that time, I used to follow the Jets as well. But that's a little bit of a background. But I think the main thing, 90% of the entire problem with the Jets right now is solely on the offensive line. Listen.
Yeah. He is. I'll tell you what. Aaron Rodgers is taking a lot of shots. You bring up a valid point. He's been getting jacked up quite a bit, but also not opening lanes and not getting the push in the running game. We've also saw the offensive line struggle there. But I think another thing, too, that we're watching, and it's great that you bring up the offensive side of the ball, because that is a big issue with the New York Jets, and one of the reasons why a lot of people were confused why Sulla was let go so fast, even though he's in charge of the defense, and why Hackett was still around until he got his play calling duties taken over. But another part is I feel like a lot of guys are pressing, and there's issues, it seems like, with communication. Now, with Todd Downing taking over the play calling duties, right, moving them away from Hackett, do you think that change will boost the New York Jets offense? Do you think that'll provide a spark?
If they could figure out, I think it's more about execution and knowledge with the offensive line. So the only way I could really see success if they can't address the offensive line before this next game and get them, where they need to be, is if he really uses tempo. I really think that anytime they start hurry up, that's when they have the most success.
Yep.
And
go ahead,
ironically, and you don't even need to necessarily install new concepts to play that. You can't do too much on a week's notice to change everything, and I don't think any of us should expect that. But if you could install tempo and just get some hurry up offense, I think we could. That's something that he could do without necessarily having to do too much as far as just game planning and stuff like that. Ironically, I've seen Aaron Rodgers get so many free plays throughout the years through the cadence, but I also think that it shouldn't be used every single play. It should be I don't want to see the clock ran to zero every single time, because then it makes us predictable. Sometimes you just need to run up to the line, snap the ball, and then get something off, get them on their toes and their wheels turning inside the head as far as the defense. But we have our tight ends as well. They're so bad at blocking, and I don't think Breece Hall likes his role as blocking this year. He said in interviews, I don't think he's really too thrilled, and he's I think he's having a hard time with that.
He's missed some assignments. You're right. Breece Hall has absolutely missed some assignments. I mean, he's called himself out as well. That has gotten Aaron Rodgers, cracked before, but. Yeah, no, you're bringing something to the table. Me personally, I look at it like this. I'm looking to see if Todd Downing, especially, is going to be able to utilize our tight ends. We saw our tight ends really get going against the Patriots and rip things up. And then after that, it was I don't know what happened. They just kind of disappeared from the offense. We're not utilizing Conklin and Rucker in the same ways, and I want to see that. Those guys are big body pass catchers. Those are solid tight ends in this league. Why aren't we utilizing our weapons more effectively? And I am hoping that that's a transition that I see from Todd Downing. I want to see Todd Downing go out there, call plays to get guys the ball, like Garrett Wilson, who should be way more involved in the offensive game plan than we've seen so far this season. I want to see him utilize these two tight ends. I want to see him utilize Breece in the passing game a bit more as well. Screens. I want to see different things called, and I want to stop seeing us be so predictable and stagnant. Get some motion as well. That's one of the things that a lot of people were talking about that was going on with Nathaniel Hackett, there wasn't a lot of confusion pre-snap. You watch the Chiefs, man, Andy Reid has that thing moving. You don't know what the heck is going on. There's so many guys moving. The next thing you think you got a guy covered, and next thing you know it's a rub play. You're getting picked, and then the guy you were covering is wide open now. Who knows what just happened, And it's that fast. Sean McVay, we see him do a lot of that stuff too. It happens so fast, and then next thing you know, your guy that you were covering is open and running down the field. So my final question for you, man, because you're bringing a lot of great takes. Give me 3 keys to victory for the New York Jets against the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. I think that we have to put in perspective that we've had the craziest, fastest schedule. We had 3 games in 11 days, and including London. And if you look at the teams, when we beat the Patriots, it was but it's the Patriots. They're not very good. But then put in perspective as well as, if you look at the other defense, like the Vikings, they're, number 1. So, of course we're going to look bad. And we didn't have the luxury to start off slow. If we didn't pick up, quick, we were, done. We had no chance. And that's what we're seeing right now. But after this, we have time to actually get some rest in. And, that being said, I think the 3 keys to victory would be Aaron Rodgers getting the ball out of his hands quick as possible. They have to have some improvements on the O-line as far as creating some lanes for Braylon Allen or Breece Hall to get through. I would like them to, just as far as speaking accountability, I know it hasn't been the best situation for him, but I think either way, for accountability, based off his performance, I think Braylon Allen should be like the star. Like number one. Talk. I think he should be number one, dude. Honestly, talk. Yeah. So if they get the run, so it's going to be quickness, tempo, and O-line. Those three things are good or halfway decent. I think we have a solid chance.
Okay. Give me your final score prediction. Jets, Bills, Monday night. Lights are going to be bright. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think it ends up?
I think the Jets win. I think I don't know if I'm just fanboying out, but I think it's going to really change the narrative. I think they probably win by at least a touchdown.
Give me a score.
Yeah, I think that score. Okay, dang.
Give me a score. Give me a score. Jay.
Oh, yeah. All right. 24 to like 17 or something like that.
Okay. Jake, this was a phenomenal call. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, man. Listen, that was a good call from Jake. A good call from Jake. First-time caller. I tell people all the time, call in. I want to hear from you. You know what I'm saying? We always get new people in the building, and Jake gave us some takes. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Hawkeye Digger Savage says, I like Sulla, but this team looks flat under him. Maybe this will start a fire under some butts. We always play Buffalo tough. Hope you're doing a watch-along Monday night, Joe. We'll talk about that. We'll see. Schedule's wild. But we'll see. People love these watch-alongs, and I love watching along with y'all, man. Because Jets, it's tough. All right, it's tough being a Jets fan, let me tell you, okay? Man, oh, man. We're going to keep moving to these lines. I see you in the building, Bree. Good question. I'll come to you in a second after this. After these calls. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, we're going to Max. Max, I'm coming directly to you. Val, I see you in the building. Sit tight. We'll be coming to you soon. 862, I see you as well. We'll be coming to you, but we got to get to Max because he's got to talk that talk with us. Listen, for those of you that do not know, this man, Max, he's a savage. Max salutes. Todd Downing is now the New York Jets play caller. What are your thoughts about it?
So I think it can be a great move for the offense. I mean, and then I was looking at a lot of team subreddits who was like, oh, he was such a bad coordinator. But, I mean, it can't be worse than this because Hackett is the worst offensive coordinator I've seen. He makes Adam Gase look like Sean McVay because, you know, Adam Gase always has got good scripts, you know, got the touchdown deal. You know, Hackett isn't that great of a coordinator. Hopefully Downing is better. I mean, he'll be probably 10 times better than Nathaniel Hackett. But still, I mean, he's not like the great coordinator, but he's like a middle-of-the-pack coordinator. I was looking on some Reddit posts. Like, he's a good play designer, but sometimes, like, situational play calling, he might not always be that good. But we have Aaron Rodgers, so I think we can sub out of a play if he's not doing good. That's just my thoughts on it.
No, yeah, listen. I'm hoping to see Todd Downing kind of cut down on the predictability of the New York Jets offense. It's a fresh take, a fresh mind. We saw this in the past. We talked about how bad Adam Gase was, and he was terrible. But he had an offensive coordinator that actually was decent. We saw him allow his offensive coordinator, his assistant, to call plays before, and it looked like a brand-new offense. It was insane. And then at halftime, I remember Adam Gase took the offense over – he took the play-calling duties from his offensive coordinator, and it went back to looking stale and disgusting.
I know.
It was insane.
Like
I remember that game like it was yesterday. It was mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing. But I'm hoping to see Todd Downing really get some things rolling and get some things together, and that leads me to my first question for you, Max. Do you think that Todd Downing will be able to reignite this New York Jets running game? I
mean, I hope it happens, but I was reading on, like, some Reddits, and I remember the Titans' offense, I think, was like second in the National Football League, and then 2020, I mean, it went from 11th to 30th. So I hope Downing can be a better coordinator because, you know, I mean, he's better than Hackett, but I hope he can fix the run game because, you know, Breece Hall is like, he was a good running back. He hasn't played good. You know, if Breece Hall isn't playing good, you need to have Braylon Allen in the game. Braylon Allen is one of the hardest running backs to tackle in the National Football League, and I feel like we need to have more creativity with the run game because Hackett always calls the same running plays. It just never works. That's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about the Jets defense coming up against the Bills, man? Do you think that we'll be able to stop their running game? Because that's a big question.
I hope we stop our running game because remember we played the Niners and we couldn't stop Jordan Mason. But Jordan Mason turned out to be like a good running back, so hopefully we can stop the Bills running attack. Also, the Bills don't have that many good wide receivers. I mean, Keon Coleman, I was on a TikTok and they're playing like Keon Coleman out of position. I mean, nothing is a bad rookie. He's better in the slot, but he plays out deep, and he's not like that experienced. And then the Bills played good the first couple weeks, but they're exposed by good defenses. They're exposed by the Texans, and they have a good defense, and they're exposed by Ravens as well. So hopefully we pressure Josh Allen. You take away his receivers, and then we blitz him. We can take away the running game. I think we can win this game.
Okay. So my final question, man. Jets, Bills, Monday night. Light's going to be bright. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think it ends up?
So I think it's going to be a very close game. Right now, I'm leaning towards the Jets, but I think the Bills could also win this game. So I think right now my gut feeling is I think the Jets are going to win close. I'd say like 24-21.
Okay. New York Jets. All right. Thank you again for calling in, Max. Phenomenal call from you. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Salutes and respect to the chat. Bree in the building says, this sounds like a good time to talk about Reddick and his ex-agency, Joe. Do we really want someone so stubbornly stupid in our locker room? Listen, I hear what y'all are saying, okay? I understand there's a lot of Jets fans that are just turned off and sick of Haason Reddick. I'll tell you like this, man. If he can bring some pass rush to the building, if he comes in and he's ready to just play and keep things quiet, I will welcome him back. Okay? Listen, this season is all about W's, baby. That's what it's about, okay? We're in a must-win situation here. Some of y'all may have forgot about that. I didn't. Okay, we trying to get these W's, baby. And guess what? To get these W's, you got to get the quarterbacks in this joint. Okay? That's what you got to do. You got to get to the quarterbacks because if you don't, you're going to have a long day, all right? So I understand some Jets fans are like, screw him. He did such and such. He didn't show up, and it was all this drama about the contract. I already saw that coming when we brought this guy in the building. I told y'all from training camp or from the non-mandatory stuff. I told y'all this guy is something else. But here we are, okay? And if he can come into this building and provide us some pass rush and he keep things quiet, I have no issues. Woody Johnson talked about Woody Johnson can't wait to get the guy in the building. He can't wait. So I'll take him. But I understand, again, please give your thoughts. Savages in the chat. I will continue to come to you folks. All right, so put your thoughts in the chat. We're reading them all throughout. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Okay, we're going to keep things moving. Next, we're going to Val. Okay, we're going to Val. Nico, I see you. Sit tight. I want to hear from you tonight. Okay, but we're going to Val. Okay. The circus has begun. For those of you that do not know, Val's a savage. Val salutes. Here we are, right? There was a lot of talk about Nathaniel Hackett and so on and so forth. Well, play calling duties get stripped. Todd Downing is now the play caller for the New York Jets, but Nathaniel Hackett is still on the staff. He's still here, and he says that he's ready to, completely back, Todd Downing. What are your thoughts about that, man? What are your thoughts about Todd Downing getting the play calling duties, and what are your thoughts about Nathaniel Hackett still being here?
Like I said, he's sick because of Aaron Rodgers and stuff, but, I'm just glad that we're actually making that change because like I said, the play calling has been terrible. He doesn't look confident of the play callings that he does, try to, put out there. And then on top of that, I would say Aaron Rodgers as well, too. He was telling him to hurry up the plays because it's just like the time is just going down and too many delayed games and everything, So I'm glad that we're going to – hopefully that situation gets cleaned up. And Jeff definitely talked about that, too. Like, everything has to be – everybody's going to be accountable. He's definitely, I like the press conference so far, but the product got to be on the field. I love everything that he said. He's not, going along with the same thing that Robert Saleh was saying, So now he's actually, saying like, listen, this team is way too talented. We got to clean a lot of stuff up and everything. So I would definitely say that. But listen, for me, he would have been the first person fired than Daniel Hackett for sure. Then it would have been Robert Saleh. He was in the bottom of the list. Absolutely. I don't even know why he's still here, but listen.
Whoa.
Hey, I guess. I mean, Joe, man, he's battling with Adam Gase.
Whoa. I mean, Val let it be known, man. He let it be known. He's like, hey, man, it is what it is around this joint. I need to get you up out of here. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, man. Val letting off, man. Val letting off. Listen. Listen, respect. I respect that. Now, we're talking about Todd Downing, what he could bring to the table. I want to get your thoughts on this. Do you think that Todd Downing will be able to reignite the Jets' running game? Because it struggled a lot under Nathaniel Hackett and his play calling. Do you think Todd Downing and, the fresh set of eyes that he's going to bring to the situation, do you think his play calling will be able to get the Jets' running game going?
I think that was one of his specialties. It does help that you have Derrick Henry in the backfield and stuff like that. So, you got to see what he does without Derrick Henry and stuff. So, but you do have a guy named Braylon Allen that you can actually work with and stuff like that. And I'm not ready to bench Breece Hall. Going forward. And yeah, I'm not ready to bench him because I'm hearing a lot of people saying that they want to, go with Braylon Allen as the the number one and stuff.
The starter.
I've been hearing that a lot, but for the starter. But to be honest with you, let's see how this game goes. If it continues, then we might have to make that switch because listen, it's what you're doing for us now, and this team has to be trying to get to the Super Bowl and stuff like that. And we still have somebody that's lurking with their eyes that's trying to find out what team they want to go to. So. This is a very tough. This is a game that we have to actually show up because the team that we're going against, Devontae Adams is also looking at as well too. So, and I know you heard about the reports. So, hopefully, we turn the ties around and we actually, play good in this game because a lot of stuff got to get cleaned up. Because I rewatched that London game. Aaron Rodgers, listen, let me tell you, Aaron Rodgers.
Man.
Aaron Rodgers. You have to take the easiest passes because there was a lot of times that he tried to go for the big plays when it was just like small plays right there where it could have just been an easy first down. Even the first, our first drive, he went for the big play and started forcing it to Allen Lazard and Garrett Wilson where it was like three people that was still wide open down low and he could have just passed it to them and that was going to be easy first down. And then, he's killing the momentum with that. But other than that, hopefully he cleans that up and watch film and be like, dang, I should have definitely, did that, But, and offensive line. You talked about the offensive line. It definitely helps out that Mosley is coming back. So that right side should be a lot more better as well, too. So that's a huge because our running game definitely took a hit. Even though, Falu, that's not his specialty. But, again, he's been playing left tackle his whole career. So just the fact that he went in and, plugged in and played for the right side, it could have been a lot worse. We could have never had a right tackle at all. We could have been having Brock Bowers, and, he can't play right tackle. So, I'm happy with that,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward with Morgan Moses. I know that C.J. Mosley, they're saying it's looking like he's going to be out coming up.
Wow.
In this game against the Bills, so we'll see. But there's a lot of talk that he might miss another game. And again, we'll see what happens with Morgan Moses He's had some light practices, so we'll see what's going on with him going forward. But as we continue to talk about this football team and everything moving and shaking around here, boy, oh boy, man, this defense, they got a task in front of them, man. And it's Josh Allen. We've seen him before, Val, right? We've seen him scorch us before. And I'm wondering, do you think the Jets will be able to get a solid pass rush on him, Val? I've been talking about this. I talked about it against the Vikings. I was like, listen, Will McDonald, we love him, but he ain't enough, dog. You got to start blitzing, right? And they did that, and they got to Sam Darnold. And I'm thinking we're going to have to do the exact same thing against Josh Allen, because if you sit back, he's going to cook you. Do you think that we'll get to Josh Allen, and how many sacks do you think the Jets will have?
Oh, man, listen, we're going to have to blitz Josh Allen. Listen, this is a guy that's not scared to run the ball. He loves to run the ball. He's like Cam Newton type-esque. Like, he will run that ball and stuff like that. So we got to really, take, full control when it comes to that. And, yeah, shout out to Will McDonald. Even though he hasn't been doing enough, but he's definitely ranked number 3 or number 2. So, he's definitely doing what he needed to be doing as a first-round draft pick and stuff like that. So, he actually stepped up, and shout out to him for, taking that leap. But would I say it's enough? No, it's not enough. We still need to get to the quarterback a lot more than we do, because, again, Sam Darnold, he could have, if he was an elite quarterback the way how he should be, man, he would have killed us, because he was kind of chilling back there a couple of times. But, we did get to him a couple of times as well, too. But we can't do that with Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a person that you got to bring that pass rush. And Jermaine Johnson would have definitely been perfect for this matchup right here, because he's a person that chases down the quarterback. But, unfortunately, he's out. But, now is next man up. And, just crossing my fingers, and I know this is not happening, but, Haason Reddick, now that
talk about it. That's where I was going next, Val. Talk about it. Are you willing to welcome Haason Reddick with open arms? That's my final question for you, Nico. I see you. My final question for you, Val. Are you willing to welcome Haason Reddick back with open arms? We know CAA has parted ways with him. Woody has literally in the media, screaming for him to come in and wants him back. Are you willing to accept him back?
Yes, I'm definitely willing to accept him back if the contract is right, if he's not asking for too much, if he's not going to hurt, our 2022 draft picks that are going to be up for contracts and stuff like that. I'm definitely willing to make that happen, or we can make it happen for just 1 year or something like that. Is he going to be in tip-top shape? Not too sure. But, we got to go all out this year, man. We don't know how long we're going to have Aaron Rodgers for. We chose this path to go with the 40-year-old quarterback. So we got to definitely do all we can, because, again, this organization is not known for drafting good quarterbacks. So, we got to take full advantage of this. So, I'm going to definitely say, yeah. And quick question.
Okay.
I definitely got to ask you a question. For the last time that we talked, do you trust Joe Douglas to get a head coach in here?
Another one?
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what. It really depends on how the Jets finish this season. If the Jets fall apart and don't finish the season well, I think he's going to get fired. Truthfully, I think he's going to get fired. I don't think we won't have to worry about him getting another head coach in here, because he won't be general manager. He'll be just like me and you. On the sidelines, you know what I'm saying? He'll get another job. He'll get another job in the NFL. Yeah. But if the Jets don't at least make the playoffs, or if they fall apart, I think Woody Johnson's going to fire him. And that was one of the things that kind of shocked me about the firing of Robert Saleh, was Woody Johnson did that himself and told us he did it. Not only told us that he did it, told us that he talked to Joe Douglas and still did it. So that tells you something about Woody Johnson, the way that he feels about Joe Douglas at this point. He's not willing to wait. He's not. And he's done with that. That is true. He said it himself. He said, this is the most talented team we've had, and basically in his, it's ever since he owned the team. And this season's not going to fall apart. This season's not going to fall apart, so I'm going to make the changes. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that you said that, it's like kind of a double-edged sword because he could say that, like, you know, Joe Douglas did it,
yes.
you know, build this team and stuff like that. So that could be like a good thing or it could be a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he hasn't had a team like this ever. So, you know, Joe Douglas definitely put his 2 foot into that. So, you know, but at the same time, the product got to be there.
Yeah, and again, one of the reasons he hasn't had that team is because often he was the one making the decisions. Woody Johnson, I mean. He was the one. That's why you can never build a team. That's what scares me is that he will fire Joe Douglas, and then they'll go back to meddling in football operations like they did in the past. The New York Jets are where they're at because of Joe Douglas to this point. The reason why we got Aaron Rodgers and all this stuff going on is because of Joe Douglas, but also the failures, major failures on this team. And one of the things that I think can be utilized against Joe Douglas is, as a general manager, when you take over a team, and I'm going to give you the final word, Val, before I get your score prediction. As a general manager, the 2 biggest decisions that you will make for a team when you take them over is who your quarterback is going to be and who your head coach is going to be. If you look at Joe Douglas to this point, he's failed at both of those things. He got rid of Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was supposed to be his franchise guy. That guy was terrible, and he is gone. He also chose Robert Saleh, who we all loved, but Robert Saleh couldn't get the team together, right? Penalty, sloppy play came out. No excuse for, okay, you didn't have Aaron Rodgers last season? Yeah, you didn't have Aaron Rodgers last season? Okay, cool, right? We gave you a mulligan for that. You come out this season, and the offense can't get more than 9 points against the Broncos. Guys are coming out sloppy, unprepared. They're sleepwalking through halves. We're 2-3 with a team that really should be 4-1, and they pulled the plug immediately. And there was talk that they were going to fire him, or there was Jets fans that wanted to fire him in the offseason. There was rumors about, you know, the Jets possibly canning him in the offseason. I talked about it on the show. We had shows about it, and I was like, I don't think they should do it, but there was a lot of things swirling, and then he gets fired in season when Woody has never done that. That tells you the level of frustration and urgency that Woody Johnson is playing with. So I don't know if that bodes well for Joe Douglas. Again, I think Joe Douglas is a good general manager. I've said that 1,000 times. People have called me a shill for Joe Douglas. I like Joe Douglas. But at the end of the day, are you winning or are you losing, dog? Is you winning?
His record is not good.
Or is you losing, dog? Like, that's what it comes down to. I'll give you the final word before I get your score prediction, Val.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you on that because it's like what the product that you're putting out there is not good, you know. But at the same time, he hit some home runs when it came to know to the draft and everything.
Absolutely.
And the quarterback and the only thing that really killed me as well too is last year is the backup quarterback position. Like that he didn't utilize that for a couple of years, and now that your back is against the wall, now you finally put a good quarterback room and stuff like that we're comfortable of going with Tyrod Taylor just in case, Aaron Rodgers is down. But it's just the simple things he just doesn't get down. And it's just like even the trade for Haason Reddick, that was just another like, come on, what are you doing? Type of move. So it's just like, he definitely puts himself in that position and stuff. But just to go off of that.
Yeah, no, great question. Give me your final score prediction. Monday night, Jets and Bills, light's going to be bright. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think it ends up?
Alrighty, man. And I will say that I got the Jets winning this game. It's going to be, I would say 17-14. And I got the Jets winning this game. It's going to be a close one.
Go ahead and finish up.
Let's go. Yes.
Okay. All right. Listen, Val, I got to slide off. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you.
All right, most definitely. And like I said, all the time, shout out to the Savages, hitting like, subscribe to Joe, and I'm out of here. And whatever he says at the end, you already know is defamation of character.
Oh, my goodness. Peace out, Val. Listen, for those of y'all that believe that anything I say about Val is defamation of character, it's not defamation of character if it's true. What is going on around here? You know what I'm saying? It's true. It's true, bro. It's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, when Blog Talk works, it's working tonight. Like, I can prove it's true. Like, come on, bro. But we got a lot of love for Val. Again, great caller calls. And again, salute and respect to all of the callers Have some great calls tonight. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Salutes. Jack Kenneth says, Savage in the chat. He says, the Jets have more drama than the Raiders. It's close. The crap that keeps coming from teams. The crap that keeps teams from winning. Well, I mean, the Raiders have a horrific past. I live in California. Baby, some of the stuff I used to see the Raiders do with Al Davis, but I'll tell you what, that Raiders franchise also has had some illustrious years. When I'm talking, they were really good. And they're getting, hopefully they'll turn things around and get back to that. But, man, the Jets, we'll find our way. We're going to be all right. It's a long season. We got more games coming, okay? Let me get back to these lines again. 515-602-9639. Again, please give the stream a thumbs up. Savages in the chat, excuse me. Please keep going back and forth, putting your thoughts in the chat. I will come to y'all, okay? Bree says, don't forget to slander Rusty. I love Rusty. I love Rusty, too. All right. Hey, listen, you call in, okay? I love it, all right? Next, we're getting to talk to Nico. Nico, we're coming directly to you, okay? I know Nico's ready. For those of you that do not know, okay, Nico, he's a savage. Nico salutes. I'm going back and forth with a lot of people. People saying that I'm slandering them. I'm not. I have proof of all these things. They're talking defamation of character, everything they're throwing at me. You got Todd Downing taking over the New York Jets play calling duties. What are your thoughts about that, man?
First of all, second of all, salute my brother LBJ. What's good?
Salutes, man.
What's good?
Salutes, man.
Well, first off, I'm gonna say this. At least Downing knows that his running back can catch the ball out the backfield. He knows that already. You don't have to wait till week 8 to find that out. He know already.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna bring well. Look at him. Remember, he had some good years with Tennessee, and he had a few good times with the Raiders. I think him coming in is going to bring a spark to this offense. Now, the funny thing was, I was watching. You ever watch Brian Baldinger and how he breaks down blocking?
Yeah, Baldinger.
You know what?
Before,
I can't blame Brees after I watched how he broke down the blocking. I can't blame Brees now because it was a lot, and I mean a lot, of missed blocks. They weren't even
Watch it. It's a family show. What'd I say?
Oh, my bad.
I thought you said the B word. Yeah.
No,
don't
I
say
said
the
blocks.
I thought you said B word blocks. Oh, go ahead.
No,
I
he
apologize.
missed a lot. There was a lot of missed blocks in that.
Oh, missed
in like
blocks.
The first
okay,
3
go ahead.
games.
I apologize.
Oh, it's good. It's all good. He did the 49ers game. He did the Tennessee game. He did the Minnesota game. He did the Denver game. And if you watch how he broke it down, man, that's not on Brees, man. That's the offensive line. The offensive line was, and then you got tight ends in there straight missing blocks. We got that guy with so the thing is, we got rid of our fullback to pick up a tight end who can't block. Where did he do that at? Where did he do that at? Why did you get rid of a sure thing for an unsure thing? So this dude is 50-50, and he can't block. Like, look, pay me $300,000. I'll get out there and I'll block for you. Pay me $300,000. I'll go block for you. I'll do better than what he did.
So do you think Go ahead. Yeah,
okay.
I'm looking at it now, and I'm hearing what you're saying. There's a lot of issues up front, but also there's some plays where I feel like Brees. I mean, I'm not the only person that's talked about it. That Brees is not hitting the hole as quickly as he should. That he's kind of definitely pressing. He's not, and he's talked about it himself, and not just running with the football, but also the blocking. Him blocking himself as well, right? Like there's some blocks that he's missed as well. Like that's been like, whoa, what is going on? And he's talked about trying to get to places, before, time is there. He talked about his timing being thrown off and him pressing as well, so there's things that he can do better, in the situation. But give me your thoughts about this. Todd Downing, now that he's the New York Jets offensive play caller because he's taken over those duties, do you think that he will be able to reignite this run game with some of the calls that he's going to be able to do?
I think he will. Remember, he had King Henry. So King Henry was they had some holes for him. And I watched a few of the games when Henry was running. And he had some holes. He had some 100-yard games. I think he's going to reunite it and get it back to snub where it needs to be. I truly believe that. And you know what? You 100% correct about Brees not hitting the hole, because the one time he did have a hole, he just didn't look as explosive. Like
yes.
It's like he did. And you know what play I'm talking about? He had that one good long. I think it was like 7 yards. It was off on the right hand side, and there was a hole. But he just didn't hit it with the speed, that we're
normally used to. That next gear.
That next gear.
We saw it in the Vikings game
next
too.
Gear. Yes. Exactly. Yes. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's beside himself. Maybe he's too much in his head. Because he was it looked like in the first few games, he was picking up blocks. He was doing all the right things. I don't know what happened, but maybe can we say that comes to, the coaching? Could we say the coaching is not up to snuff, and maybe that's the reason why they're missing? Or are they just picking up like people say? You're picking up your coach's charisma. You're picking up the attitude. You're picking up the the nonchalantly. Because look, let's be honest. The last 2 games, they looked like it was nonchalant. Really. Looked like it was nonchalant. Yeah. The only good thing that I had when we were down 17-0, if we didn't have Aaron, I wouldn't think we were coming back. But all the time when the third quarter came, I said, we got Aaron. We can win this game. We have Aaron. Even though he didn't have a good game, we still got Aaron. But let's go back to the drop pass with what is his name? Number 10.
Alan Lazard?
Lazard. He drops a pass in the end zone. Remember, he dropped the pass on the side. He dropped 4 of them. Guess what? If he don't drop those 4 passes, guess what? Rodgers don't throw that interception. Let's look at that. Rodgers doesn't throw the interception. And I heard what Val saying. He's got to look at the other players. You know what? I'm like, he probably every time he turns around, he's got somebody coming to him. He's been getting hit. He's been getting hit a lot, and it's probably more in his career than in any other time. So maybe he. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not a quarterback. I can't tell you what the feeling is. Or after you done got hit so many times, you got to look over your back. You got to look over your shoulder. I don't know. But you know what?
You know what it is? Go ahead. I'll let you finish up. Go ahead.
You can't tell me when we were down 17-0, you can't tell me nobody cannot say we still have a chance. I know everybody was saying we were down 17-0, we still have a chance because we have Aaron.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and even going back to that Vikings loss, when you watch it, there were things that you would think that Aaron Rodgers would pick up that he didn't. Right? You talk about him getting jacked up and hit. I believe there was a play. It was on 4th down. It was late in the game. And it was clear as day that the Vikings were bringing the heat. It was clear as day that their defensive coordinator was going to dial up a blitz. I can see it when I close my eyes. And the Jets went empty backfield. And it was the guy, literally, I'll never forget, the Vikings linebacker that cracked Aaron Rodgers came up to the line, and you could see he was almost like jumping to take off and try to decleat Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron didn't check out of the play. They were 5, no protection on, and when he hiked the ball, that guy ran, he was unblocked. He took off and absolutely tried to take Aaron's head off. You would think that he would see some of those things. I think he just had an off game against the Vikings. He talked about it himself. He threw 3 picks. 3 picks. And even going to credit, I think it was Val that was saying it, maybe another caller as well, about how Aaron was taking the big play instead of taking just some of the easy stuff that was moving the chain. You look at the last the last ball that he threw to Mike Williams, the one that got intercepted, there were other people to throw the ball to. All we needed was 10 yards. Mike was like 15 or 20 yards down the field. Why take that shot when you could have took other shots? There were other things open. So, there's some things that I think that Aaron Rodgers can adjust as well. He's not above reproach, and he talked about it as well. How he needs to clean some stuff up too. But like you said, though, listen, the offensive line was getting him destroyed. He got spun around. I remember when he bent his knee back. I thought he tore his Achilles. Man. I'm being completely honest. I thought it was over. I mean, you saw the hit. I saw it. Everybody saw it. We were all like, what in the world? But here we are. This offensive line needs to step up too. Tyron Smith, I'm calling him out. He's been getting beat like a drum. And, I mean, that's Tyron Smith. He's had some games recently where it's like, what is going on over there? He's getting cooked. Like, we got to get it together. But I'm hoping again.
But let me ask you this,
the play calling, not being so stagnant, movement, motion, things like that can help. And even a caller earlier, I think it was Jake, the up-tempo stuff. Get defenses on their heels. When you come out and you're stagnant and you're easy to read, they'll take your head off. Go ahead and give me your thoughts on that.
But let me ask you, when you were saying that he could have threw the easy pass to these other players, did you think in Aaron's mind, I don't trust him? We had too many drop passes. Can we say maybe he felt that? Maybe he felt Mike would have been the sure guy to go to. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. You know what I mean?
I hear that, Nico. I hear that, Nico. But here's the deal: you can't force something into triple or double coverage, right? Because the guy that's dropping balls is Alan Lazard, right? Alan Lazard will drop the ball whether he's open or in triple coverage himself. You have to get the ball to the right guy.
True.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like, you can't force the ball into double coverage. So it's like you have to. He's just got to make better reads sometime. But it's Aaron Rodgers. He's going to have. Look, he's a human, just like everybody else. All right.
Right.
He's going to make his mistakes. But there's just things you got to clean up. But I also think as well that because Todd Downing is taking over, if he's going to be the guy, now I want to see him be able to make that adjustment and take the next step, because that's something that situation. When they're going empty, there's nobody back. It's empty backfield, and it's just Aaron Rodgers. That's something where Nathaniel Hackett should have screamed, yelled, called, stopped the play or something, and made that adjustment. He should have done that. Point blank period. He should have said, hey, screamed or something, yelled in the headset, hey, Aaron, check this. There is heat coming, and made an adjustment to that play. He should have let that be known. And, I mean, there was nothing done about that. Period. So
and what's crazy?
I'm hoping that Todd Downing will make those changes and, again, change a lot of the things that we do, because we're barely getting the play calls in time anyway. We saw in that Vikings game, same thing. Aaron Rodgers literally rolling his finger like, hey, get the play call in. Like, we can't get it in. So by the time he's ready to read a defense, it's like 1 second late. He got to snap the ball. He can't even make his reads. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So it's wild, man. It's completely wild. And so this is my next question, because we're talking that talk. I'm looking at Garrett Wilson this week, man. And the Bills, their front is still serious. But I'm not as scared of these corners as I used to be, okay? They used to have me shook. Now, not so much, okay? I'm thinking Garrett Wilson can have another 100-yard game this upcoming week against the Bills. What say you?
I think I'm sure he can. I think this game, and even though we lost, he was getting open. Now, of course, they don't have the best corners either, and neither does Buffalo. But I believe he'll have another good game. I believe he will have another good game, and I believe Mike Williams also will have another good game. But once again, it's all coming down to that offensive line. Give Aaron the time. We saw what he did with New England when he has time. When he has time, he can kill you. When we got the running game, we can kill you. The whole key to this offense is that line. Now, I don't know. I'm hoping that the blocking scheme goes a heck of a lot better than it did the last two games. I just hope and pray that it does. I hope Downing does his thing. Like I said, he may be ranked 20th, but Hackett was 32. So that's got to be a step up. That's got to be a step up. You know, we gonna get. Look, you can call it what you do. You call it the way you want to call it. 20 versus 32. Who would you rather have? Of course, you're gonna go with the 20. This is gonna pick up the offense. Now, you also got to remember, Downey didn't have as many weapons in Tennessee as he got here. He's got a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of weapons. And I just got a feeling the change that they made was the right change. The change that they made was the right change. Now, they just have to put it together. And I believe they're going to put it together. I believe Ulbrich is going to get in everybody's butt. I believe he's not going to be passive like Saleh. And don't get me wrong, I believe he's a good dude. But he just wasn't head coach material. He just wasn't head coach material. When I watched him on the 49ers, I was watching the guy jumping all over the place, running out, hugging his players, doing all of this. But when he got to the Jets, all of that went out the window. He must have left that in San Francisco. Maybe if we would have played them maybe when we played them the first game, he should have got some of that mojo back and came back with it.
Yeah. Well, he's out the door now. We got Ulbrich as the interim.
Yes, sir.
My final question for you, man.
Let's go.
Jets defense, man. Mosley looking like he's not going to be a go. We know that Josh Allen is a guy that can move the chains with his arm and his feet. I'm concerned. Do you think the Jets pass rush will be able to get after him, man?
They didn't do it against Darnold a few times. I was watching McDonald a lot, and you know, I think people are getting used to that spin move that he does. I don't see us giving a good pass rush. I mean, but I think we gotta play the Bills like we played Tennessee and put a spy. Let Sherwood spy on Allen. I don't see the pass rush because I'm looking at him like, God, we just cannot get pass rush. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard because like we don't what we got is McDonald.
Yeah,
that's really that's if you think about it, that's really it.
And now let me ask you this, Nico. Let me ask you this because you hit a nail on the head there, right? Jermaine Johnson. We know that he's sidelined with the injury. We won't see him until next season. Will McDonald, we're watching him, you know, get better, but he's not enough. You can't just go in with one guy. Well, we see Haason Reddick. CAA just dropped him. We got Woody Johnson screaming for him to try to pull him into the franchise, get him back on the field at some point. He said, "Hey, I want to work it out." You know, basically. Well,
you heard
Nico as a Jets fan. Would you be willing to receive Haason Reddick with open arms, man? There's a lot of Jets fans that don't want to have nothing to do with him anymore. Are you willing to open arms and hug the man if he comes into the building and accepts in?
Yeah, I am. Because, I mean, honestly, we need it. People say we don't need it. We need it. We need it. And like Woody said, he'll escort him there. I'll drive the car. Woody, I'll drive the car. If you want to escort him, I'll drive the car for you. I'll go down there and get him and bring him back. And take him back. And I'll put the gas in the car. How about all that? I'll pay for the gas.
Okay.
Yes,
I
would take him with open arms.
Okay. Give me your score prediction. Jets, Bills, Monday night. Life's going to be bright. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think it ends up?
28-14, my brother. We got to kill him.
28-14. Who?
28-14. I think the offense is going to...
14 Jets, Bills?
20. Oh, come on now. Jets.
Okay. I'll let you finish up.
Yes, sir. So this week, this game, I just want to see the offensive block more, do a better line. You know, but the defense is going to do what they do. They may give up. They may let them score. They may let them score 10. I just want the offense to just do a better thing of blocking, give Aaron some time, and make some holes for Breece. And Breece, get your head right, my brother. Get your head right. Get back out there and do what you do. I'm not even worried about Allen. Allen's going to do his thing.
Okay. Okay, listen, Nico. This was a phenomenal call from you. Again, I apologize. I gotta look out. YouTube be tripping, okay? But you were on the straight and narrow, and I'll give you your respects for that. Next time I have a show, Nico, I want to hear from you, man.
Hey, my brother, I'm on it.
Absolutely. Listen, talking that talk, Nico with a great call. Salutes. Sometimes, I thought I heard something. I was wrong. I'm willing to admit that. I'm here for that. Salutes to the chat, savages. Venom G says Joe heavy on the parental advisory. Yeah. I didn't mean to. Bree says now he's defaming Nico. Oh man. Come on, man. Come on. I'm just, I just gotta watch it. Sometimes people slide. I thought I heard a word, but hey, he didn't say it. I'm not gonna, that man, he stood tall, and I'm gonna respect that. He kept it clean and gave us some good takes. Okay, you know what? So hey, but I don't slander. I don't defame. Okay, all right. I was wrong on that one. I'll give y'all that. Okay. I will give y'all that. Salutes to Nico. Great caller, man. Great caller. We've had some great callers tonight. We're going to shut the show down now, man. Oh, man. This was a phenomenal take. But before we do that, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the matchup. I'm hoping to see Todd Downing come out against the Bills Monday night. The lights are going to be bright. I need to see him come out and switch things up. I need to see a different pace and put this Bills defense in a different place, okay? Let's get it rolling. Let's come out and take some shots. I want to see some screens, some double tight end looks. I need to see the ball get in Garrett Wilson's hands. And I'm hoping, again, that we can see this Jets running game really get revving under Todd Downing. So he's going to be going out there and making his play calls and getting things rolling. I'm hoping that Aaron Rodgers can be protected. My big concern is that the Bills' pass rush and blitz just mauls Aaron Rodgers, and he ends up, in a really bad space, and I don't want to see that happen. So I need the Jets offensive line to step up. I'm looking at the defense, man. Oh, boy, oh, boy. The only thing I'm concerned about is getting to Josh Allen. Can we please get to Josh Allen, for the love of goodness? Will McDonald, I know that he's putting his effort out there, and he's putting his best foot forward, and he's handling business, but he's not enough, dog. He's not enough. I need more. So I'm hoping that Obridge has some blitzes dialed up, and we get that rolling, and we can get to Josh Allen. And when we do, strip sacks need to be in effect. Try to rip that ball out. We know that he doesn't always secure the ball properly. And don't try to go in there and get some mega hit against this guy. He's a big dude. He'll bounce right off and keep it rolling. So we got to watch that. All right? With that said, I have the Jets beating the Bills. I've taken the Jets over the Bills. I'm taking the Jets to win this game 17-14. I'm taking the Jets. I don't think it's going to be, it's going to be a dogfight, man. I think this game is really going to be a dogfight, and I think the Jets are going to win by a last-second field goal. That's literally how I think it's going to happen. In the fourth, Aaron Rodgers is going to put together his drive, last-second field goal, Jets win. That's what I got. Give me your thoughts in the chat, savages. Oh, man, what a phenomenal show. A lot of takes, discussions left and right. Now we got to close it out. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I am also on Twitter as well. Going over to Twitter, type in @The Long Beach Joe. @The Long Beach Joe on Twitter. Follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me, no issues. I'm the troll that is under the bridge, and I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. At all times. Okay? I'll have that Vera Tucker jersey on. He's playing all right this season. Playing pretty good. All right? He's going to keep getting better and better as the season rolls on, but he's back, and he's up to snuff. Okay? That's what we do over at SC. We produce players that come out and get the job done, baby. Don't worry about, all this talk. I know I got people that be around here that be talking about other teams. Okay? It's all about SC. That's what it's all about. Fight on, okay? So please come join your boy under that bridge. We're going to have a lot of fun. Also, I'm on YouTube. Okay, for those of you that do not know, come on over to YouTube, type in Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Subscribe, hit that notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Also, give the videos and stream a thumbs up, okay? And share them across your social media with your friends and family. So to troll me, get in the comments and troll me there as well, and I will go back and forth. And as always, people, when you see me in person, because you will, I don't hide. I'll be outside. Trust me. All right? When you see me in person, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. The hugs will cost you absolutely nothing. I want to thank you folks for taking the time out of your day to call in, to interact with me, all the savages in the chat, any way that you interact with the show. I want to thank you for doing that. Without you folks, I'm absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to check in with your boy. So until the next show, you folks have a good one. Peace.